How you doing, folks? So today we're going to make some scones. They're really nice, light and fluffy, and if you follow these simple tips that I'm going to give you, you'll have perfect results every time. You will never ever buy another scone from a shop again. Here we go. So for this simple scone mix, you need 4 eggs, 250 ml of milk, 125 grams of caster sugar, 3 cups or 500 grams of self-raising flour. You're going to need a pastry brush, a lined tin, also some flour and a cutter. If you don't have a cutter, simply use the underside of a cup, flip it over and just twirl it in the flour. It'll work perfectly. It's just for non-stick purposes basically. So give the eggs a good whisk around. The reason you whisk beforehand, before you add the milk in, that is because you want to break up the eggs, because if you put the milk in now, you're going to be chasing the eggs around the bowl trying to break them up. So just give them a good whisk now. Okay, so that's that done. Next, we're just going to add our milk. So 250 ml of milk straight in there. Quick little whisk. And that's our wet mix. And we're just going to leave that aside for now. Okay, so next we move on to our dry mix. So this is 125 grams of butter that we've melted, and we melt it rather than using cold. It just works well in this recipe. Normally you would have cold butter in it. So we start with 3 cups of flour straight in there. So there you go, that's the 500 grams all in there, and then 125 grams of caster sugar. So now we're just about ready to start crumbing this down with our hands. Now it's going to take us about a minute to do this. You want it to resemble fine breadcrumbs, so just keep going with your hands until you get there where you want to be. Okay, so next we're just going to add the wet mix in there. We're going to hold back a third of this because you don't want to put it all in. Sometimes the flour can be more moist, sometimes than other times. So hold back a bit, because once you put it in, you can't take it out. Okay. Okay, so this is what you're looking for. It's not over mixed. It's not kneaded. Okay, you don't work it like a bread. You just barely bring it together. So whatever you do, do not knead it. Definitely doesn't require that. Okay, so next I just need my surface, something to push this out on. So this marble is nice and non-stick. Use whatever surface you have available. Okay, so before I get this down, I'm going to need some flour on there, just to make it. So now I'm just going to put the dough. I'm just going to spread out with our hands. We want it about 2 inches in height, no more than that. Don't roll it, don't knead it, just spread it out easy, okay? So now we're just gonna dip our cutter, if you don't have a cutter, as I said before, a cup into the dough, just like that, pops out perfectly onto your baking tray. Again, go. So you should get about 8 or 9 medium-sized scones out of this. So I got 10 out of this. So now with some of that leftover milk that we didn't use, leftover milk and egg, we're just going to give them a light brush on top. And then it's going to go into the oven at 180, preheat the oven for between 22 and 25 minutes. The reason I see between 22 and 25 is because every oven is a little bit different. So just check it after 20 and see if it's too dark. But I think about 22 minutes is about right. And now just into the oven. So there we are, after 22 minutes in the oven. Nice, fluffy, golden brown scones, perfect for your 11s. Arena's spotted breakfast.